Y'all, I'm gonna explain why Sierra from Love Island was canceled and removed from the villa, because everyone's talking about her being racist, but no one is showing why. And what she did was actually disgusting. So it all started in 2015 when she posted herself smiling on top of a mountain and chose this caption using a very derogatory slur.
Sierra from Love Island USA has lost over 150,000 followers on IG since last night's episode of Love Island USA, which is unprecedented for a Love Island contestant. So let's go through all the reasons this is happening and let me know down below in the comments if you unfollowed her. So
guys, call me crazy, but I feel like this Sierra thing is a little overblown. And it's not because I'm giving her a pass. It's not because I think she's right. I don't think she should be able to say the word. It's not because I'm saying she didn't offend the Asian community. It's not that. It's because we're entering a time now where it's like we are digging to find anything possible to pull people down when they have notoriety, clout, they're doing anything, they're on a show. We're digging to find something. It's like the reverse of stan culture. It's hate culture, where we're like, there's got to be something.
Brace yourself for this one. Last season was dramatic. But this one? It's complete chaos. The couples are crumbling, the drama is nonstop, and fans are in disbelief. Love Island, the British dating show turned American sensation, isn't just about finding love anymore. It's about surviving each other. Every night, except Wednesday, new episodes drop and the tension just keeps building. But it gets worse. The whole format is built to stir the pot. Contestants must stay paired to avoid getting dumped, and during Casa Amor, all hell breaks loose. Relationships are tested, secrets come out, and people flip faster than a light switch. It's no longer about loyalty. It's about playing the game and not getting played. Now here's where it gets insane. Viewers vote, recouplings happen, and by the end, one couple wins $100,000. But here's the kicker. Only one person gets the money first. They can split it or keep it all. No one's had the nerve to keep it, yet. But if this season keeps spiraling, we might see the first betrayal right at the finish line.
during last night's episode of Love Island USA, fans were calling out Shelly, Olandria, and Sierra for their behavior during the mailbox challenge. Sierra was often caught smiling and smirking, especially during Huda's crash out, which fans saw as kind of mean behavior. And Sierra has also been accused of being inauthentic on the show and receiving some sort of media training. And those accusations of being on the show for the wrong reasons were only heightened when her friend, who's running her IG page, posted this video saying, "When Sierra hits 1 million followers in a couple of days, you're all gonna be laughing," which just kind of further proves the point that Sierra went on the show to become an influencer. But probably the biggest reason for her losing so many followers is that an old IG story of hers was revealed where she was using a racial slur, and fans realized that that wasn't the first time she used that slur, because back in 2015, this was her caption.
But then everything changed. Last season ended with love stories that are still going strong. But now, there's barely a single couple worth rooting for. Everyone's feuding, backstabbing, or pretending. The finale is coming, and nobody looks stable. The villa is basically a war zone, and fans are desperate to see who survives. Just wait until you hear this part. Some contestants are gaining millions of followers before the season even ends, but not for good reasons. Public opinion is shifting fast. People who were adored one week are being unfollowed in real time. Fame came quick, but so did the downfall. Here's where the mask falls off. Shelly, Sierra, and Alexandria were early favorites. Everyone loved them. But then came Tuesday's episode. The Islanders had to write private confessionals, and suddenly, the sweet trio started giving off serious mean girl vibes. Fans weren't just shocked, they were angry. What started as admiration turned into disgust.
People are going through old tweets and typing usernames with slang and derogatory terms until they find stuff. People are scrolling back in catalogs from 2022 and 21 and 2020 until they find something. What are we doing? What are we doing as a society? I am not a Huda fan, okay? People are going and finding old TikToks, and I think she said the N-word here in this. She's right, she's racist. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? And again, I think Sierra should leave the island. Whenever she leaves the island, I think She should offer an apology. I think she should say something. But like, I think intent and I think the way stuff is used, I think all of that context matters, bro. It matters.
It spirals from here. Sierra was racing toward 1 million followers. Just last weekend, she passed 900K, and everyone was celebrating, especially her friend MJ, who was running her social media while she was away. Cosmo even wrote an article praising MJ's captions. People thought she was killing it. But then the tone shifted, fast. But things were about to explode. Fans started saying Sierra looked way too polished, like she wasn't just having fun, she was playing the game. They said it was giving PR-trained energy, like she cared more about the fame than the feelings. Then came the moment people turned. Alexandria kissed Nick, and instead of being mad, Sierra stayed calm. A little too calm. Here's where the truth hits hard. Alexandria and Sierra are supposed to be friends. And Nick? He was Sierra's guy. But when Alexandria kissed him, Sierra didn't even flinch. Fans thought she should have been furious. Instead, she barely reacted. People started saying it felt fake, that she wasn't mad because she didn't care. She just wanted to stay in the game and win the money. But then everything changed. MJ, the friend behind the Instagram account, tried to clap back at the haters. She joked that Sierra wouldn't care what people think once she hits 1 million followers. But that confidence? It backfired. Because overnight, on Tuesday alone, Sierra lost more than 100,000 followers. That million she was chasing vanished. And it gets even messier.
Referencing the fact that when she smiles, her eyes get smaller. So some may say, oh, well, that was 2015, Well, no. So in February of 2023, it seems like she posted something derogatory using that word because someone replied to that story in 2023 and Sierra says, I just got educated on the topic, immediately deleting. I never knew the history of the word, but will for sure never use it again. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, until 2024 when this story was uploaded to Sierra's Instagram. She's talking about her Botox. You can pause to read it, but she's saying that she's really expressive with her face and sometimes she catches herself frowning. And then she says, I can also be a little, and says the C slur, which is derogatory to Asians, when she laughs or smiles. So she is getting a mini brow lift to open up her eyes, directly referencing that she is using this term in a way that basically means her eyes are small and she needs to fix them. Then in 2024, someone else calls her out saying, ooh, girl, that slur is super derogatory, and sends her the meaning of it. And she says, oh man, thankfully that's not how I used it.
The fallout wasn't just about the kiss. Viewers thought Sierra, Shelley, and Alexandria were bullying Huda, another cast member who had been on the outs for most of the season. And fans had already changed their minds about Huda. She was once unpopular, but her raw honesty won people over. Now they saw her as the underdog being picked on by a popular girl clique. Now here's where it gets insane. People dug into Sierra's past and found something even worse. An old Instagram story showed her using a slur against Asian people to explain why she was getting Botox. Yes, seriously. She said it helped open her eyes. That post didn't just feel ignorant. It felt racist. Fans were shocked. Some couldn't even believe she posted it publicly. But this next twist? Game-changing. In the post, Sierra said, Botox isn't for everyone, but I love it for me. Then she casually wrote that she wanted a brow lift to avoid looking a certain way, a look some people are born with. She tried to play it off as just sharing, but it came off like she was mocking a whole community. And fans weren't having it. The real chaos starts here.
I definitely agree with the general sentiment that the fan behavior during this season of Love Island USA has become incredibly toxic and has crossed a line, but it is kind of funny to see people either rewriting history or misremembering and acting like last season the whole fan base was just sitting there holding hands, standing PPG, because yes, that's what my side of the fan base was doing, but that is not what the whole fan base was doing. If you were an OG PPG stan, especially an OG PPG stan whose favorite was Janae like me, you remember that things got pretty ugly at certain points last season. People were constantly trying to pit Leah and Janae against each other. Janae was getting called a pick-me girl constantly. I remember having to make a whole video defending Janae against the pick-me allegations. Leah was constantly called a mean girl, and Leah was pretty controversial for the first half of the season. Then she kind of became universally loved in the back half, but I think people forget that a lot of people did not like her at first. I also remember after last season's reunion and the conflict with Andrea, a lot of people were again calling Leah and Janae mean girls. So it's not like we all were universally standing PPG. It's not like there was no conflict in the fan base last season. Yes, it's worse this season and it's more toxic and people need to chill out. But this toxicity didn't just like come out of thin air, and I don't think it's fair to blame like one islander or one islander's fan base for it. Like, this has been.
By Wednesday, Sierra had lost nearly 200,000 followers. Alexandria lost 55,000. Shelley dropped another 50,000. People weren't just unfollowing, they were done. At the same time, Amaya? She was rising fast. Over 600,000 new followers, no social media manager, no drama, just being herself on TV, and people loved it. And that's when the tables turned. While others scrambled to clean up their image, Amaya was chilling. No one running her TikTok, no staged captions, no scandals, just vibes. She's now the breakout star, gaining more than 1 million followers by doing nothing but staying real. That quiet success? It's making her rivals sick, but it didn't end there. Pop Culture Drama posted the numbers. Huda had gained 500K. Sierra's count kept dropping, and then rumors hit. Shelley's friends were buying her followers to cover the loss. That backfired too. People noticed, and it only made things worse. This is where it all falls apart. The show isn't even over yet, and Sierra's influencer dream is cracking at the seams. 1 week ago, she was on top, but now, her rep is stained, her following is tanking, and her chill girl act isn't working anymore. One good edit might save her. But for now, the damage is done.
Say it. She wasn't just like, oh, I'm feeling today. She literally used it as a way to be like, this is why I'm getting Botox. Like, to open up my eyes, like, babe, what? I'll read you guys the post, don't worry. She said, Botox isn't for everyone, but I love it for me. I am incredibly expressive with my face and catch myself frowning for no reason throughout the day when I'm focusing on something or thinking too hard. I can also be a little when I laugh and smile, so I love getting a mini brow lift to open up my eyes and get that snatched look. This is not me encouraging, but more so sharing. It's also you saying like you don't want to look that way.
But this next twist? Game-changing. Rumors had been circling for weeks that Ace and Shelley knew each other before the show, even that they were dating and plotting to win. But that theory? It collapsed fast. Their connection has completely fallen apart. Whatever they had, it's clearly over. And the tension is boiling on camera. And then came the bombshell. Ace already showed up to Love Island with 1 million followers, but fame hasn't protected him. He's been roasted online all season. People called him a mean girl, lumping him in with Taylor and Nick as a toxic trio. The memes were brutal. But this week, everything flipped, because Shelley started making no sense, and now somehow, people are siding with Ace. It goes completely off the rails now. Fans are watching in shock, but producers? They're probably loving it. They're sitting on a goldmine of drama. Ratings are through the roof, but the show has never looked messier. And it's not just the cast spiraling. The production is playing both sides. Here's where the mask falls off. A few weeks ago, when Huda was under fire, producers posted a soft statement online. They asked viewers to be kind, said the Islanders were real people, and tried to calm the storm. They even edited episodes to highlight love and unity. But this week, they did the exact opposite. The drama only gets deeper. Producers threw in a brutal challenge that forced the cast to air their biggest grudges on camera. It was explosive. Tears, fights, total chaos. The same show that once preached love, now tearing its cast apart, one challenge at a time. Viewers are asking, how is this supposed to end in a fairy tale romance? This is where it all falls apart. We're 1 week from the finale, but no couple looks stable. No cast member is unscathed. Followers are dropping, reputations are wrecked, and the villa is one fight away from total collapse. Somehow, producers will crown a winner, but at what cost? They tried to build a love story, but created a battlefield instead.